What is going on? I am Zedmot, and we are going to do something that I have not done in a long time, and that is do a complete map clear. Now, this map clear is going to focus on the tribe at hand, and that is the Grenadier Speed Tribe. If you're not using Grenadiers, you need to reconsider how you play the game. It's that simple. These guys are ridiculously strong, and the beauty of using them is it's a good way to, frankly, avoid paying for endless reserves. If you clear your map often, you can do it with Tank Medic and not lose many troops, which is quite slow and not all that appealing. Or you can use Grens, and Grens, when mixed with, they work with basically any of the heroes. There's all sorts of different strategies to use them, so I'm going to go through, and my general strategy is just to put Bullit out front with the energy drink, and he can do all sorts of fun things. But we're just going to go through, we're going to smoke them, we're going to drop them, we're going to use every different hero and show just how versatile they are. So we're going to start out using Bullit. Bullit with the energy drink is my favorite way to do it. You can do them even without medics. So we'll start out without medics. You don't need medics with Bullit. He'll just stand out in front and take all the damage, and your Grens can hide in behind. So let's just, that's number one for me. Right now, typically using medics with Grens is a great strategy, but since they've added this tribe in, it's not even required. So this is just the straight up bully approach. Uh-oh, we need to get the Simo shocked. Simos are definitely a concern because they target not Bullit. So we're going to keep that shocked. Probably should have barded that out, but instead we're just going to go full speed ahead. Now you'll see, just because they're throwing so fast, they just ruin everything anywhere nearby. So probably should be getting Bullit out front, but when using Bullit with Grens, you need to be very careful, just because right now they walk so much faster than Bullit does. So if you back flare, they're just going to expose their backs, and Bullit is going to be too slow, and it's not going to work terribly well. So all we're doing right now is throwing shocks, throwing medkits, and very good things are happening, except for over here where I didn't realize that there were two prototypes. So somehow this person still has a hot pot, even though that cycle is over. Probably lucky timing on their part, very likely. And I mean, we've lost a couple Grens here, but all we've done is zero strategy, full speed ahead, and we lost, what is that, 3 Grens? No medics, just Grens. I don't think we used 0 flares that entire attack. So Grens are extremely strong. I do have endless reserves. I do recommend endless reserves. I'm just saying this is a good way to, if you don't want to pay for that. Grens are a fantastic way to round that. So now we're going to load a couple boats medics and Everspark. Everspark is another fantastic way, just because her throwing critters, I like to use the universal remote. You may not want to do that. You may want to use Critter Swarm as well. Personal preference. I'm not a big fan of Critter Swarm. It is a fantastic ability, but I just like the ability to remove buildings that start to make me nervous. I tend to use it anytime we get close to things like boom cannons, but, and I mean, Everspark, please upgrade her. Look at these, just free critters. Free critters are fantastic. Let's shock some more things. We're going to throw more critters. And we're doing all of this unboosted. So I am definitely not a pro Gren player, but it doesn't take a lot of skill. All you have to do is keep looking forward. That's the most important thing when it comes to using Grens, is looking at where you're going, using your GBE ahead of you. So on my last attack, obviously, because they spread so wide and we didn't use any flares, that wasn't really an option. I'm gonna use the defib. I love defib. And again, Everspark, where are you, Everspark? Could really use, there we go, universal remote. Get that boom cannon down. Everspark, universal remote again. Uh-oh, let's throw a smoke out here. Really need to get rid of that boom cannon at all costs. And again, lost 2 Grens. Not ideal. These attacks so far have been fairly whelming. underwhelming or just whelming, but again, getting used to it, getting the ball rolling on the Gren attacks, and the pink zombie crew up front, clearing out the headquarters. Now, the beautiful thing about Grens is that they scale all the way up. I'm using them on my main account, which is sitting at 1550 VP or something along those lines, so they do work extremely well. You can use any sort of hero with them, and just please give it a shot. We're going to add the second wind ability, only level 1 with Kevin Kavan. I do not use Kavan basically ever, but I just wanted to show that he is a viable hero as well. We'll use Brick in a minute. Brick with Grens, with the tribal speed boost, is absolutely hilarious. I'll show you that in a second. Let's get some of our friendly neighborhood pink zombies out front. The beauty of this is you just get cannon fodder. They're going to walk out front, they're going to get shot in the face, and it's not going to cost you any troops whatsoever. Now, this person's base has 4 of their most vital defenses stacked together, so please never ever do that. That is not a good way to build a base. See, like, we can shock his or her 4 strongest defenses right there and not lose any troops in the process. So please avoid doing things like that. And straight lines. Also, don't do straight lines. Straight lines, never ever good ideas when it comes to building a base. We must be getting close to another shock here. There we go. Look at this. Kavan coming through. So far, we have not lost any troops, and it's all thanks to Kevin Kavan, Dr. Kavan. I know I trash him a lot, but with Grens, he is a little bit useless. I mean, useful for sure. They're not useless. He's not. So, again, there are not a lot of troop combinations that will work within every single hero, and this is one of them. So, I think you get them at XP 37 or so, and level 1 Grenadiers, when you're level 37, you can take out level 65 bases. I know that sounds crazy, but if you walk them well, it is possible. Now, come on. This is my favorite by a long shot. Using battle orders with Grens is just straight up silly. Especially with, like, what this is gonna do is this is gonna give us extra speed. We got Grenadier speed, and then if we go over here and look at battle orders, we're going to get, what is that, 50% more speed. So we're looking at 150% speed Grens, and spoiler alert, it's incredibly, incredibly fun. Let's get rid of the Grappler. Grappler is going to definitely do bad things to us if we let it. This base has a shield, a mini shield, and all offensive statues. So this will go incredibly, incredibly quickly, I am going to bet. Let's get rid of a couple things first. And now critters out front, Grens into here, and let's do one shock and battle orders. Like, look how fast they're throwing. Everything is just flying out of there. Now, the thing about Brick is she's gonna die. Like, she dies very, very early on unless you're very careful, and at that point, we're okay with it, because, oh, she's still alive, look at that! I think she took 2 boom cannon shots, and she's still alive, so well done by Brick. I'm amazed that she lasted through that, but look at this. So far, we're gonna have losses here pretty quickly, I think, but up until now, we've had 0 losses with just, oh, Simo coming. I did not notice that Simo. It's going to be a problem. Let's back off a little bit, hopefully get out of its range. Oh, I just threw a smoke. Do not smoke Simos because they don't see smoke. Not a good idea. That's still learning, still getting used to those Simos, but look at that. We lost, what's that, 1 Grenadier with no medics and just straight up 150% throwing as fast as possible. Like, that is my favorite. I gotta say, Bullet in front of Grens is the most effective. Brick with Grens is the most fun. Let's do that one more time, just because I need to find a new opponent. Let's go, Pisco. That's a drink in Chile or Peru, I believe. No, Pisico, not the same. Spelled differently as well. Also butchered the pronunciation, but that's okay, because that's all. That's the best I can do. What do we got? What do we got for prototypes? Just the 1 Simo, nothing else. Anything hiding? The revolts hiding behind the trees, and same deal. things out front, and then just lots and lots of Grenadiers coming at you. And Battle Orders. Battle Orders is just so... The first ability you should upgrade, I have to say, is probably Battle Orders. It is so versatile, works well in operations, and makes Grenadiers so much fun. Look at this. Just... come on, get us 2 more GBE so we can do 1 more. 1 more, there we go. And 150% speed Grenadiers, just throwing potato mashers at the headquarters as fast as they possibly can. 2 straight attacks using Brick and Grens with 0 losses. Probably not the most effective way to use them, but so much fun. But the most effective way is, I gotta say, probably Everspark. We did Bullet, we did Everspark, we did Kavan. Okay, let's come back to here. We'll do it with the Critter Swarm just because it's pretty darn useful. Let's get some medics out. Realistically, 90% of the time when you're using Grens, if you're not using them for a novelty style approach or a super high VP icy base with shield gens and stuff, this is probably what you want to be doing. Let's have a look here. What do we got? They have a Grappler and a Simo. Anything else? Oh, and a Doom Cannon. Doom Cannon hidden behind trees. Always try and hide Doom Cannons behind trees. It works very, very well. Come on. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Getting rid of the Grappler. And that's one of the beautiful things about using Grens, is that they don't cost GBE to use. Using Tank Medic, you could take this base down as well, but with a little bit of scouting, a little bit of planning, we can do all sorts of good things and take out all sorts of their defenses before we even drop troops. And you can have 0 GBE left at the end. It does not matter, simply because we don't have to worry about tank costs. And I talk a fair bit about Tank Medic because I was talking to our group of task forces saying, like, hey, what sort of video should I put out? And someone mentioned Tank Medic, but I just can't bring myself to use Tank Medic. It's not something that I enjoy using. It's a great troop strategy, don't get me wrong, but I just can't bring myself to use it because it's too slow and I do not have fun using it. So for me, this game is all about using fun strategies and doing fun things, and Tank Medic just does not fall into that category for me whatsoever. So I know it works, I know that it's effective, but I really hope that anyone out there who's watching this will consider using Grens as a replacement for tanks, just because you'll lose just as few troops and you'll have like 8 times more fun. Because what's more fun than watching hard-working dudes, hard-drinking, fun-loving guys throw bombs at bases? It works for me. And we've lost, and I'm just basically rushing through these without scouting whatsoever, and we've lost, I think, like a total of 6 troops total overall. Lots of Doom Cannons today. Now, I know that Mega Crab has just ended, but I'm really looking forward to times when there's going to be more of these statues out here. I love seeing what stage people have gotten to. I think that means they got to less than stage 40, I believe. I don't know. I love the fact that they've added these decorations. I know they're a little bit... they're not a huge deal, and they don't add much to the game, but it's kind of neat just to see what stage people you're going against manage to get to. So, just a random thought there. Let's get rid of this Doom Cannon before we get too close to it. Now, I realize that with Grens there's a lot going on your screen, but 90% of it doesn't really matter because they have a lot of health. Grens by default can stand next to a sniper tower and get shot, and there's not a lot of concern. Same thing with mortars. The only real concerns are things like boom cannons and doom cannons. Obviously, if the base has a lot of ice, it's a different story, but your medics can heal these guys up very, very quickly. Not like we're just crushing the base. Let's have a look. I'm very curious to see how much health Grens actually have. Look at that. Over 1,000 health with Troop Health statue. So they can get shot by basically, what is that? A boom cannon? They can get shot by anything except for a boom cannon, I believe. Let's see what a cannon does. And they do outrange cannons. Ooh, look at that. Nope, don't want to get a cannon shot to the face. So that's let's backtrack that a little bit. Don't get shot by cannons or boom cannons or grapplers or doom cannons, but as long as you only have 1 or 2 of them shooting at a cannon, they will outrange it. Not a lot of concerns there. So just let them spread wide and good things will happen. Go away, grappler. Grapplers are the Grenadiers' nemesis, though. Do not recommend going anywhere near grapplers, or CMOs for that matter. As a general rule, CMOs are terrible. I do not like going anywhere near them. I do not recommend going anywhere near them. Just shock them or BART them as soon as possible. They're still too new for me to have much of a strategy besides just straight up removing them. So that's what I do. I just remove the CMO and carry on. It's much, much safer that way, much, much easier. Now, here is one of the problems that one of the mistakes that I make way too often, and that is by throwing your pink zombie crew way up to the side there, you're going to pull your medics and you're going to lose medics. So when using the defib ability, please be very careful where you put it if you have medics, and that's why I tend to not use medics with Grens right now, because I love to use that defib ability, and I just lost a medic because I didn't think it all the way through. So Grens can be mindless fun, but adding medics adds a bit of a wrinkle. Actually, I haven't smoked them yet. Let's smoke some troops here in a minute. Because Grens, a lot of bases are built to be front-loaded, and by smoking Grens, you can avoid all of that nightmare. So, but smoking Grens with medics is an art to itself, because a lot of the times you'll smoke your Grens to the back, and then you'll realize your medics are still down at the shore. So I'll show you how to avoid that as well. We just got a new base. Oh, Dr. Terror has just landed. Fantastic. Let's destroy... Actually, you know what? Against NPCs, I tend to destroy NPCs, but you probably should not be doing that. If you want to stack prototype parts, make sure you attack your NPCs, because if you don't, you're going to be losing prototype parts, and then you won't be able to make the dreaded CMOs after all. So let's do some shocks up front. Grens are, I would say, the best troop to use against NPCs. You just drop them and forget them. Scorchers are up there as well, but once you have Scorchers loaded, it's not all that versatile. So for me, I want to use Grens against NPCs anytime I possibly can. You can take down basically every NPC ever with 0 losses. As I say that, I'm probably going to lose some troops, but we'll find out in a second. Let's go like this. Did I lose anything? No. Hearts of Iron, fairly difficult base if you're using Zookas or anything like that, or Warriors, down with no losses every single time. What do we got here? What do we got here? Please give us a base we can smoke to the back on. Yeah, look at that. See, we've got shock launchers up the front, we've got rocket launchers on the side, so we're going to go to this very, very back corner, and what we're going to do is actually leave some of these mines. Mines can be a huge help when it comes to Grens. By leaving one of the mines, you're actually going to help your medics, make life easier. So let's go. We're going to do one smoke here. One of the advantages of Grens... Uh-oh, that is not what I meant to do. Let's retreat. Did not intend to do that. So I like to drop my Grens first and my medics last, because I find that by dropping the medics last, you get them closer to where you want them to be, because medics do not follow flares, so we want to drop the medics on the far right if at all possible. Step 1, flare. Step 2, smoke. I like to drop Everspark outside of the smoke because she gets underneath smoke incredibly quickly. You can gap your smokes without a problem because they walk so quickly, and then we're going to flare to the very, very back, and I just lost one because I was too slow. Now, oh, this is not a good start. Let's just retreat. Let's retreat, and we're going to lose all sorts of troops because that was a terrible, terrible example of what we're supposed to be doing. That was awful. Don't do that. I retract that statement. That was awful. And that's where smoking can get a bit more difficult. So, there we go. We got our path. So, doing things live is a bit of a can be a bit of an issue at times, especially when I don't have my troop loadouts the way I'd like them to be. Now, let's flare all the way back to there. We're going to drop our medics up the top. We're going to hit that mine, which is fantastic. You'll notice the medics are going to start chasing them because we got hit by that mine. This is the first time I've smoked Grens since the tribe boost come out, and they run incredibly quickly. Incredibly quickly. Holy crow. Not necessarily a good thing to be doing. Now, as you can see, they like to throw back towards their medics. A huge issue. That was not a good start by me whatsoever. Maybe smoking them with this tribal boost is not necessarily the best idea. I gotta say, I did not even consider the fact that they have that speed boost into the consideration, but not bad, not bad. I mean, we did fairly alright, not all that great, but what did we lose? We lost one medic, one Gren, and now we should be in the clear. I think, yeah, this looks pretty good. Let's get some more critters out. Probably want to back flare back into here just to get these guys away from the cannons. And down goes Mikonolovac. That is the official pronunciation in case you weren't 100% sure on that. We lose one medic, one Gren. I'm not sure if you noticed or not, but I threw my 2 smokes in the back there in the reverse order, hoping to keep the medics underneath smoke, but the Gren speed boost, I did not count that into my considerations, and that was a very difficult smoking walk. I don't recommend that at the moment. That is just too difficult. How many days is that? It's got to be 9 days. Try that. But for right now, it's just, that is too difficult. Bases like this make me shake my head. Let's go like this and like this. I know this is supposed to be a Gren video, but sometimes you do not need Grens. Let's shock the hot pot and get rid of it. We should be able to go like this, I believe. Let's go like this. And we should be able to simply take this base by using the defib option. Not 100% sure it's going to work. We might lose our troops a little bit too quickly. But some bases like this are always interesting, to say the least. Well, now that those guys are back there working on the headquarters, let's drop some troops up the front. Let's drop Everspark over in the corner. Hopefully she can get some critters out before she gets shot. No, it's not going to happen. So at this point, we've just taken down the base using only the defib option. It's going to be very, very close to whether it goes down or not. So please, when building your base, don't put all your stuff at the front because it's a bad way to do things. Let's go. Come on, dudes. Get it down. It's going to be so close. One warrior. Oh, man. So now that that's done, we're going to have to sacrifice at least one troop here, it looks like. So let's drop right in here and medics in here. Maybe we can find a little sweet spot away from that boom cannon. Maybe? No. So all we need is one building to explode, and the core should explode. Not necessarily ideal, but come on. There we go. Typically, I would have retreated and tried that again to get a little bit better placement of the GBE for the back, but just an example of how the remote defib can be incredibly useful. Lost a couple troops in the process, but it's all... Oh, this is the best NPC ever. This NPC is so much fun. The 5 barrages is all I ever do because I'm incredibly lazy, and the whole front of it is generally clear. Let's do one more artillery. Boom, done. Critters, and off to the races we go. I would probably be using brick and battle orders here if I would have thought this through, but it's all good. Come on, go, go, go. Actually, that's what brick says when she used battle orders. There we go. Come on, let's get some defib action. Let's get one shock out just to be 100% sure. And drastic destruction. If you're going to attack any NPC, I tend to destroy all of them. Drastic destruction is one that you want to attack always. Always, always, always. It has lots and lots of buildings, which means we should get, look at that, shard. Shard is good. And as a general rule, if the base has more than 50 buildings, you want to attack it. So some NPCs, especially the base builder ones, have like 30 buildings, and it's better off to just upgrade your tribes and attack them. Oh man, online person, that's no fun. Lots of blabbing from me today. I don't tend to talk this much during videos, but I figured let's get into it a little bit extra today. Let's destroy the NPCs. Clearing map. Look how many resources we have. Like, just overloaded with resources. If I had anything to... Actually, I wonder if I do have anything to upgrade. I probably do. Let's get a machine gun upgrading. What's the most expensive? Always, my general rule is upgrade the most expensive first. Those are about the same. Flamethrower is about the same, so it looks like we're going to have to... Oh, look at that. Daily reward. Fantastic. 29 diamonds. And let's do a sniper tower. I tend to upgrade things based on cost and range. So boom cannons were done first, mortars were done second, after shock launchers and rocket launchers, of course. Let's go... Now, just to clarify, that's after offense. You'll notice that all of my offense is fully maxed. Offense first, defense second, just because I find attacking to be way more fun. I think that's it. Let's do Dr. T, I guess, quickly. This is going to be Dr.T Tropical for April the 7th. Let's just barrage the core as much as possible. Should be able to do this with Grens. Dr.T Volcano is far, far better for Grens as a general thing because it's wider, they're more spread out, your medics can do more good things. Dr.T Volcano is fairly condensed, or Dr.T Tropical I should say, is fairly condensed, so it can be a little bit problematic when it comes to Grens. But we, as a max level account, and as a level 65 account, Dr.T Tropical is generally a gimme. You should be able to take it on from anywhere from XP 48 onwards or so. But that is on my other account. I will post a video of that maybe later on, depending on time availability. Max level accounts versus Dr. T is generally a complete joke, and that's why I try to do it on my HQ18 account on my XP, I think it's 46, just because it's a little bit more of a challenge, and I enjoy that a little bit more. With this, it's just a matter of dropping troops. Maybe stage 7 will be extra hard today, though. Who knows? What are we at? We're at 27 minutes. Oh, man. Let's try and keep this underneath 30 if at all possible. Let's get rid of the boom cannon. Let's get rid of the sniper towers, and then just do a drop. I'd be curious to know which hero you guys like using with Grens. Is it Kavan and Second Wind? Is it Everspark and Universal Remote? Or Everspark and Critter Swarm? Is it... Maybe use Crystal Critters. I don't know. I highly doubt that anyone's using Crystal Critters, but if you are, please, please let me know, because I think you'll be the first person in the history of the game to be using Crystal Critters. Energy Drink is fantastic. Battle Orders is incredibly fun. Maybe you're using Shock Knuckles. I have yet to find a use for Shock Knuckles. If you have found one, please, please hit me up with how you're using it, what you're doing with it, and I'd love to see it. I think that's everything. The cluster grenade is no fun. The Iron Will is fairly useless. I don't really see a point for it. But again, I'm open to hear what you guys are doing with it. I'm sure there are some fantastic things that I have not thought of. In fact, I'm positive there are. So this is not a good place to put Grens right next to that machine gun. But hopefully we can get it. There we go. Okay, so did we lose anything? So far, no losses. That will change soon enough, I'm sure. But until that point, let's just keep touting the fact that we've had 0 losses. And again, I can't stress that enough. Grens are, for those players who do not have endless reserves or are trying to push for a big upgrade and don't want to spend a lot on troop reloads, Grens are the best. Like, I know Tank Medic is great for that, but Tank Medic is just so incredibly boring that I just cannot recommend it. And I mean, that's for me. If you enjoy Tank Medic and I don't know if anyone actually enjoys Tank Medic or they just use it because it's effective. So if you're using Tank Medic because it's effective, please try Gren Medic. And if you're using it because you enjoy it, then by all means. I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't. It's a great troop. It's just not for me. That's all it comes down to. Let's get rid of these 2 rocket launchers. Let's throw these guys out here, and off to the races we go. Let's get into this far, far corner. And probably a premature shock, but I'm okay with that. Boom cannons and Grens do not tend to play terribly nice together, so I'll shock them as early as I possibly can, just to be overly cautious. And at this point, the base is essentially done. Like, we've got rid of the boom cannons, and the shock launcher is way off to the side, so there's nothing we need to do at this point. I'm just going to shock for the sake of shocking and throw some critters up front. When throwing your critters used with Grens, you need to make sure you throw them at the front of the base, because your Grens tend to overthrow, so they will see how they're throwing over the critters. If you throw critters back in here, they'll just kill the critters, and that rip critters, and you don't want to do that. What else is there about Grens? Trying to throw as many Gren tips as possible into the mix, not just entertaining, but also educating. That should be like a trademark catchphrase or something. They're just fun. That's all. That's the bottom line. When it comes to Boom Beach, one of my favorite things they've done recently is bringing the tribes in. By bringing the tribes in, every 2 weeks there is a new, fun, interesting meta, and that for me keeps the game progressing, keeps the game interesting, and you know what? Let's go right to here. I'm going to do 2 smokes, one to there, one to there, one to hold them underneath. You can actually pin Grens, see how they're going to stay right where we want them to be. And then I'm going to come over to here, double smoke the finish. Come on, dudes, get underneath that smoke. Uh-oh, they stepped out, We've just lost our first troop. Oh man, GG, game over. So much for our lossless. That did not last terribly long. Grens tend to peek out of smoke, they tend to leak out the sides just because they like to have their own space, and that was a big failure there. We're going to lose at least 1 troop on this against those big, beefy boom cannons, but not the end of the world. Let's get some more critters coming out, and that's one of the reasons why I don't tend to use the critter swarm ability, because I find that I don't use it as often as I should. With the universal remote, you're constantly looking forward, trying to find which buildings you want to remove, and with the critter swarm, you just kind of do it when it feels right. And it's not on any kind of schedule, you're not trying to remove anything. Like, critters you can throw where you want. With Grens, I tend to be looking forwards, and you can throw critters forwards. With Critter Swarm, it's in behind, and I don't like it nearly as much as the other abilities. So, if you have tips for using Critter Swarm, please by all means let me know. If you just press it every so often or when it's available. But it doesn't work with my usage of Grens. Grens, I'm always looking ahead, always looking where they're going to be going, and the Critter Swarm ability is in behind, so it just doesn't work as well for me. So there's all 7 stages of Dr.T Tropical unboosted with only 1 lost troop over the entire thing. Let's collect some diamonds. Wow, a little bit late on collecting the diamonds. What else do we have? Come on, be offline. Please be offline. Yeah, you are. Sweet. That's awesome. Okay, so fair bit of ice up front and a grappler. Let's switch back to Bullit. We're going to use Bullit. We're going to use energy drink. And we're going to ditch all of the medics. Because otherwise, what happens with Bullit is the medics run forwards to heal Bullit. And they die. And bad thing. Actually, you know what? Let's see what's happening. Live attack. Mr. Merp going on strategize. Let's add that in quickly. So Mr. Merp is going to clean up the shore. It looks like, using 1 boat of... Split boats. 1 boat of Zukas to clean up the shore. What is your plan, Mr. Merp? This is going to be a long attack. So, again, see Everspark cleaning up the shore. Using the universal remote to clean up the shore as well, keeping his troops alive. What is your plan, Merpy Merp? And by the way, Mr. Merp's wife is Silly Merp. She's on Mixer, mixer.com/SillyMerp, doing a lot of streams and attacks and good things like that, so go follow her as well. What is your plan, Mr. Merp? Oh, he's already done. He's already gone to the left side. Okay. He got that back left shield gen. Okay. That, I was zoomed in right here and didn't see the fact that he's already used his boats over here. So he's just cleaning up the shore at this point. So well done, Mr. Merp. Very confused there for a moment. Let's get into this action. So we've got a Simo and a, what is that thing called? A grappler. So we're going to deal with those first. Grappler first priority because it has the longer range. We should have lots of time to get to the Simo, assuming we have the GBE. Go away, grappler. Go away, grappler. Barrage, 1, 2, 3. And it doesn't matter if you use up all your GBE at this point. It does not matter whatsoever because Bullit has enough health that we'll have gotten fairly far along before we have to worry about having to heal him. Bullit standing out front, just taking shot after shot after shot. So incredibly useful. Our Grens are just shielded by Bullit energy drink to keep him alive. Now, they did nerf the energy drink, but it was I feel like the energy drink nerf was perfectly laid out. Like, they did not, his energy drink still heals him, but you have to be conscious of when you use it, how often you use it, and I like it a lot. The taunt nerf, I'm not nearly as much of a fan of, just because you have to be incredibly careful with taunt, and it doesn't work nearly as well as it used to. But the energy drink, I mean, we just lost 2 Grens, primarily to the ranged rocket launchers. You have to be careful with rocket launchers shooting over top of Bullit, because it is a thing. Let's get rid of that. Go away, Mr. Rocket Launcher, and now we're done. The base is ours, and we'll throw a medkit out just to be overly cautious, but there's nothing left that can come anywhere near shooting Bullit or shooting the Grens. If you want to get silly, you can walk your troops around and destroy more defenses, and I tend to troll bases from time to time, just bringing my troops around and clearing the entire base, but we won't do that today. Let's just get this down. Down goes, I don't know that A and N Russian, I assume, or Cyrillic. I don't know what that means, but down goes Anmo. Please, someone tell me how to pronounce that. Lots of ice, minimal losses, and I think our map's clear. Let's just check the radar. If you don't know how to check the radar, click on the time. 16, well, we've got one NPC sitting, 16-16 is what you want. Actually 17-14 ideally, but there we go. Last base of the day, lock on. Everything will lock on to Bullit, and we will hopefully wreck this base with minimal casualties. Minimal being none, hopefully. So, I realized I forgot to talk about that. Rocket launchers obviously have a huge blind spot. They will shoot over top of Bullit, so if you don't have medics, you need to be a little bit careful about what you're doing when it comes to rocket launchers. Let's get that away. We'll throw all sorts of critters around. We'll shock some things. Like, it does not take much thought or planning when it comes to Grens, especially against NPC bases or low level bases. So, anyways, that's all I've got. Hopefully you're using Grens. If you're not, please do, especially if you have the tribes. You have to be HQ 18 to have that tribe, and hopefully you've upgraded it to the max. And realistically, the Fire Spike tribe is the first tribe you should, I recommend doing the Fire Spike to max, and then doing the Spirit Dancer to max, and then the Ember Fury probably after that. But they're going to be rotating things through, so who knows? I don't know if, realistically, HQ 18 only have Fire Spike and Spirit Dancer. Fire Spike should be your first priority, though, for sure. Anyways, that's it. That's all. That is a complete map clear. Every single base cleared. Dr.T Volcano, or Tropical. Dr.T Tropical, the small base, the small island cleared. And look how much gold we have. 8.5 millions. That is many millions. And actually from the trader, look at that. Boom. 5 hero tokens just for that. Might as well open the trader crates, I suppose. Let's open the trader crates. If you're not familiar, it takes about 12 crates to get a 4 token crate, and about 24 to 25 to get an 8 token crate. So it's not that you had a good day with the trader or the trader was generous, it's just where you are on the cycle. If you're sick and, let's see that, there's the 4. The next one might be an 8. Please be an 8. Come on. Oh, look at that. Boom. 8 token crate. Fantastic. So if you're feeling like the trader has not been very generous to you, you just have to wait a little bit, and in the next 10 crates or so you'll get something that is useful to you. Let's look at that. 133 powder, not that bad. Let's get an ice statue going. Anyways, I'm Zedmot. Hopefully you're using Grenadiers. If you have any questions whatsoever, please hit me up in the comments. I will answer every single one of them as long as they don't make me feel uncomfortable, and even I'll probably answer those ones too. So thanks for coming in. Hopefully you learned something today, and if you see anything that I'm doing wrong or you're not sure on, please hit me up in the comments. I learn from you just as much as you learn from me, and thanks for coming in. Peace.